Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be the Striker stock watch. So let's jump right in and see whose stock is up or down. I'm going to do this one differently. I'm going to start with honorable mentions and work my way to number one. So for honorable mentions, we're going to start with the free to play, and that's going to be Dude Love. Dude Love is a really good card. He is, I think, very underrated. For a lot of people, he is their best marquee stipulation for defensive striker, which was this weekend's marquee tour. Let's take a look at him on the portal because I do not have him at 5-star gold. In fact, most of these guys we're going to be looking at the portal. So number one is going to be Dude Love as far as free to play. He's the one we chose for free to play. Let's take a look at him at a 5-star gold and see if he gets much better. So his best move set is, in my opinion, this 7 MP blue and the 2 yellows. You're choosing 3 rows to make into a mobile, and you're choosing 6 gems to make into yellow. I'm sorry, and that makes the boss plate go off. And I'm sorry, I said 2 yellows, but I meant 2 blues. So the choose move gets the boss plates to go off. You set up a row break and clip a blue in it. You load the guillotine leg drop, and then you're choosing 6 gems to destroy. So he's blowing up the board, and you're choosing those 6 cross break gems to break as a striker. Sorry, let's take a look and see if he gets better at 5-star gold. He's choosing 1 more on the choose, which is quite nice. The randoms, he gets 1 more. That stays the same. And the choose to destroy, he's choosing 1 more at 6. So that's pretty awesome. That is the move set that I like with him. He's also a great trainer at 9K. He's actually someone that I want to take up to at least 5-star silver. He's been on my want to work list. I think he surprises a lot of people. He can hit really, really hard with that boss plate build, the blue, blue, yellow. And on top of that, he's very good in the defensive striker marquee tour because he's making the rows of immobile gems. You can also make the columns, and you could use the choose move with a boss plate on it and set up a bunch of stuff for that. A lot of people don't have Sean, so he's their go-to. And even when people do have Sean, I know at least one guy that uses Dude Love and thinks he might even be better than HBK for this. But Dude Love is our free-to-play. Really, really good free-to-play card, and good at marquee tours and good on his own. So let's start taking a look at some of the honorable mentions. So we're trying to keep honorable mentions down to 5 from now on. So there will only be 5 at a max. This is in no particular order. I'm going to start with one that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and that's Tyler Breeze. So just on his tag link alone with Dango, it's still one of the best offensive tag links. +4 starting MP, and him and Dango have amazing synergy between them. Breeze is underrated as a fighter himself. I've always thought that. I still think that. There's a lot of different ways you can run him. You can run him with the sub to slow people down. It leaves power gems. Doesn't really get much better at 5-star gold. The jumping Insegiri, choose 8 gems to make into immobiles, and then you're converting those immobiles into black. So essentially, you're choosing 12 black with the trainer on, and because you're making them all black. That's the tag move with Dango. On his own, though, he's got his beauty shot, which is a 5x2 random area into black gems. Pretty heavy damage. And then he's got the supermodel kick, 8 purple gems into black gems. And then also, this works all the time, the neck breaker. You gain 6 black MP, and it increases your opponent's tag counter, but it doesn't have to be in a tag match. So you can hit the blue move and load a lot of times the random move, the supermodel kick. And then if you connect one, You can either go into the sub, you can use the beauty shot. There's a lot of different ways you can go. And the standing drop kick allows you to recycle a little bit better off of the sub that leaves power gems. You can turn those power gems blue. It is random, you just get more blues on the board though. Also a plate like Bad Attitude, where you break blue, get black, helps him to recycle. He's also a pretty clutch dual MP trainer, +2 blue, +1 red. Green, I'm sorry, +2 green, +1 red. But really strong, underrated card on his own, and the tag link with Dango is amazing. So he definitely made our honorable mention. And Breeze is often a guy that gets overlooked on his own. Let's take a look at Ted Dibiase, NWO. I have to go NWO to find him. I think I might. He's another honorable mention for us. He has a boss plate build as well. He doesn't move the pin bar with the purple yellow move set right here. You start out and you swap 2x3 area into yellows. Then you can make 9 immobile gems, or then you can use the backbreaker, modify a 1x7 into immobiles, and then you can turn those immobiles purple. He's also someone that you can use in the defensive striker marquee. So that's one move set. Doesn't move the pin bar on the one move. Can cycle through it a lot. You're breaking the yellows, so you can throw boss plate out there and create a little more havoc as well. He also has an interesting one, and this one could potentially be more interesting at 5-star gold, although I don't know. Where he's got the low charge choose black move and the finisher based off damage for immobile gems. He also has a choose immobile that goes up to choosing 6 at 5-star gold. So you can potentially do that with the yellow black, and it's a low charge move, so I've used him that way for blitz before and stuff, so some extra utility there. I think, you know, like when boss plate was broken, he was a very common pick for people to say, man, this is one of the best strikers. And after it got fixed, people kind of forgot about him, but I think he's still very useful and worth an honorable mention and worth a look on your roster. The next honorable mention is going to be HBK. Showstopper Sean. So let's take a look at him real quick. He at 5-star gold, let's see how he does. So obviously he's the big one that everyone uses in the defensive marquee tour. He also can hit pretty hard himself. He has this buff move, and let's see if that goes. It does stay at 1 turn, but it's 111% damage increase to all of your gems, and it's black 3 MP. But he also has this choose 4x2 to swap into blue gems. You can put a bad attitude on there with that, and if you don't pin, which you're probably gonna a lot, but if you don't pin, then you can hit the buff move after that. And he has 6 randoms into black for 6 blue MP. You can also connect with that. A little bit random, but when he goes off, he hits really, really hard. Also of interesting note, he has a kick out, which could potentially be interesting at 5-star gold as well, because kickouts are fun. And then the choose move, of course, goes up by 1, or I'm sorry, the random. And then the immobile build throws a lot of immobiles out, hits pretty hard, recycles the yellow, black, which is the one people use in defensive striker, and those are all improving at 5-star gold too. He's interesting to me. I actually kind of like him more now, I think, than at 5-star silver, just because he's got kind of a versatile kit, and with the way the pin bar works and stuff, I feel like matches going longer would benefit him. He does have the kick out that gains a little bit of health, not a ton, but a small amount. That's kind of interesting potentially too, although strikers typically don't have trouble kicking out. And then the immobile board gem stuff, if you have the gear, can put some pretty crazy damage that way too. It's just a little bit higher charge, which again, that could be helped by more turns and stuff. So he's definitely interesting. He's the main marquee guy for the defensive strikers that everyone uses. So he made our honorable mention. We have 2 more honorable mentions. Let's look at APA Farouk next. He has a fantastic tag link with JBL. I believe it's 5 MP down. It's the best showdown tag link as far as MP reduction. And along that line, he has a pretty good showdown build. You use this 1 MP, it makes 3 random purples into black. It stays the same at 5-star gold. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to 4. And it is a little bit board dependent, but when it hits and when it goes, he gets started in a hurry with that. And then the black moves, where he's throwing 13 random row breaks, and then you're choosing 2 columns to destroy with the blacks. He can do a lot of damage in a hurry that way. So definitely an honorable mention guy for us. Useful in feud and showdown. Not the best at either, but still pretty good. And that tag link with APA JBL is super, super good. So he made our honorable mention. It's not often that you get guys that don't need MP trainers that can be super useful, and I like those quite a bit. The last honorable mention is going to be Rocky Johnson. And this is a guy that got a decent amount of votes between us to be in the top 5. So he slightly just missed out. Rocky Johnson is really good, and there's a few different ways you can run him. I think the most common would be the low charge move set with the power gems. The 1, 2, 3 right here. These guys right here. You still only get 1 power gem at 5-star gold. The destroys go up from 2 to 3 blacks. And the random destroy goes from 3 to 4, the 1 MP random. So that can all work pretty well. You get your power gem out first, then you destroy 3 random blacks, throw the power gems out again, then you destroy 4 random gems, and then you swipe, and you're doing a bunch of damage and swipes off of this standing drop kick. Also, he's got an interesting setup, I think, with the fact that 6 random gems go to multiply of strength 4, or 6 black gems, rather, go to multiply of strength 4 with the Bulldog. You could run that in conjunction with the Sunset Flip Power Bomb, and potentially even the finisher then at that point. And the finisher goes to a 3x4 area, so 12 gems, and it's going to recycle the black moves. So you could do that. You could do maybe a triple black if you wanted to as well, although I don't think triple black would be quite as good. And he does have a yellow choose move, so you can do some stuff with the yellows and the choose move too, which does go to 4 at 5-star gold as well. So he's another one. I don't have him yet, but I'd be very interested in him at 5-star gold. Power gems don't hold up as well as like other stuff like bleeds and stuff, but he does have other stuff going on for him, in particular like the multiply gems and the fact that the destroys do get bigger. I think helps him out quite a bit. So he's really interesting at 5-star gold too. So let's go back over to the game real quick now, and we are gonna, that covers all of the honorable mentions. And striker, at this point I want to talk about our top 5 and strikers in general. So strikers benefit the least from 5-star gold of any class. So a lot of these guys I personally don't plan on bringing to 5-star gold. I more plan on bringing an assortment to 5-star silver. We'll kind of let this 5-star gold thing sort itself out. I would not choose striker tokens on purpose. If I get them, then I'll take a guy up. And I'll talk about who I'm most likely to take to 5-star gold as we go through this and why. So our first honorable mention is number 5 is Seth, or I mean, I'm sorry, our stock watch, our top 5, our number 5 is Seth with 1 gear. I would also say Seth with 0 gears would still have made this spot. And I think Seth with 1 gear, personally for me, would be higher, but I understand why for other people he's not. So let's take a look at Seth with 1 gear. He's an interesting one to me. And actually, even though he doesn't necessarily outright benefit a ton from 5-star gold, because he does heavy move damage, and doesn't do a lot of gem damage. And even the ones that do gem damage at striker, the buff is much less than other classes. Seth is the striker on my roster I would take to 5-star gold first. Um, and you might say, Mherex, why? And it's because he's all around utility. I have one gear, so all that really does is free up a trainer slot. I don't have Oscar, so it's not as big a deal as you would think. I like him with the sling blade, and then the falcon arrow, and of course the finisher. So I can run him any numerous kind of ways. You can also run both blues and get plenty of black MP without worrying about a board at all. I do have Elias, so that gives even more flexibility. The thing is, he's a 4 MP guy that doesn't need an MP trainer. That's super useful. You can use him in Blitz without perks. You can use him actually in Showdown if you have the gear, in Feud without an MP trainer. He just can do a lot for you all around. And I like the versatility that he brings, and so did most of the guys voting. Some of us had him as high as like 3, and I think I want to say everyone had him in their top 5, but I had him higher than most of the guys. I just love his versatility, what he can do, what he can bring, the fast charges, multiple different builds that you can potentially run. So that's why Seth made our list. He is a Leech Gem trainer. Not sure how this is going to pan out yet. So far, it's just making Leech Gems do the gem itself do 25% more damage. If that ever moves to the Leech heal itself, that would be really good on a lot of people. But Seth's an interesting guy because of how much he can do for you without needing perks. So that's why we had him at number 5, because he doesn't need perks. So let's take a look at who came in at number 4. Hall of Fame Hogan. So the Hall of Fames are all graded without gear. Gears for them are expensive and rare, so we don't count them. So Hall of Fame Hogan. I will be interested to see how he does long term on this stock watch list and see if he stays in the top 5. There's different ways you can run him. You can run him double green with trap gems. Got a buddy that runs him quite well that way, and basically you can kind of force where the wild cards will go on the trap gem when you break them. Leave your spots open and where they're going to drop. It's hard to explain. He's really good at it. He can get a bunch of damage out of it. Of course, he has all of his other builds, the power gem, the snowfall, all that stuff. And Hogan is just Hogan is Hogan. He's an amazing trainer because any gem is going to do 15% more damage. I'm sorry, coach. So he's great for that. And he's got a varying build set. Obviously, if you get the gear, he's even a little bit even crazier. But he's really good, especially at 5-star silver. He's really good. I don't know how that's going to translate to 5-star gold, because gem damage, like we said, doesn't go up a ton for strikers, and most of his is a power gem build again, and power gems don't scale super well. So I think the wildcard gem will probably be the way at 5-star gold, where you're getting the traps out and stuff, and getting wild cards and whatnot. Right here, the 7 power gems into wild cards. That might be the way forward at 5-star gold. I'm not a Hogan expert either, by the way, guys, so I don't have him. So let's take a look at number 3 on the list. We got Randy Orton. Now, Orton, more than any of the other strikers, gets something at 5-star gold. So he would be one that I would consider benefiting from 5-star gold. So like I said, Seth doesn't really benefit, but I would take him because of his versatility over Orton. That being said, Orton might be the smarter overall play depending on your roster. At 5-star gold, he has this move right here, the Exploder Suplex. It goes, decrease the damage of all your opponent's gems by 100% for 3 total turns. This includes both your turn and your opponent's turn. That means 2 turns, basically, of your opponent's swipes. That goes up by 1 turn at 5-star gold. So this you can use to keep your opponents down. It's basically a cheap shot on steroids for 2 turns of your opponent's swipe. Now on top of that, he has this purple choose move. So you could run him with the choose move and the exploder suplex and still run him with the power gems. And the idea behind this is run double purple trainer, get him turn 1, do a 5 match. This is out. You get your 5 match, and then use like Eternal Positivity Plate. Try and break another purple or 2 with like a row break with the choose kind of thing, and get so you can hit the exploder suplex twice. So you could do a row break even. The goal is just to hit this twice. So you throw your power gems out, and then you hit the exploder suplex again. You've moved the pin bar almost all the way to the edge. Then you do a swipe with those power gems out, and it does a bunch of damage, but now your opponent's gem defense is reduced by 200%. And when they do that swipe, they're going to take damage to the pin meter. So instead of not only swiping for 0, they're going to swipe and they're going to make the pin damage bigger, and they'll have trouble kicking out. Now, the only reason I am not going to take Orton to 5-star gold myself is that does require a little bit of setup, a little bit of time, and I'd rather use a big move damage guy like a Batista for that instead. However, if you don't have one of those guys, Orton really fits that spot, and he can still have some value at Showdown. He's not as scary as he once was because power gems don't scale. Yes, at 5-star gold, he gets another one. The neck breaker makes one more random. He gets one more power gem, but 38,000 damage on one more power gem is nothing compared to, 4 million health. So he's not as good as he once was at Showdown, but however, this moveset looks very viable and looks to be the striker that gains the most from 5-star gold. Like I said, I have other guys that can win the way he would win. He still wouldn't be able to win against like kick-out guys. So that's for me is why I wouldn't take him first, if that makes sense. And I just like Seth's overall ability compared to it. That being said, Orton's the stronger card with this moveset, so I do agree with him being higher than Seth. Number 2, we have Offa. Now here's another one that's actually really interesting because of his buff move and the way gem buffs work. And we'll go back over to the portal. Take a look at Offa at 5-star gold. So Offa's buff works off of his base gem damage. So even a little bit of a buff to the base gem damage ends up being a lot of overall damage. He's also a turn 2 kind of guy, because you want to go turn 2 and get this fall away slam in twice. At 5-star gold, it doesn't go up much. It's 85% for 3 turns. So on turn 2, you're buffing your black gem damage, roughly 170%. Which is massive. So even 800 extra gem damage adds up in a hurry because he's gonna blow up a lot of the board into completely black with his choose move. So you want to run him with the power bomb, the fall away, not the power bomb, I'm sorry, the fall away slam, the 4x1 purple, and the snowfall gem at 5-star gold. And he's one I would definitely consider taking to 5-star gold because of that buff to the base gem damage in conjunction with the buff move. If you don't use the buff move, then it doesn't make sense. Also, the fact that he's turn 2, bigger health pool is going to help him. The turn 2 is huge, so he should keep all but the kick out guys down, no problem. So very, very useful, and he can do that fast. And the extra health pool will help the survivability, so he can't get one shot. But he is definitely one I would consider 5-star gold, and I do think it'll help him because of the base gem damage. I'm a big fan of Offa. Really like this card, and I think he just gets better at 5-star gold as matches get extended. It benefits someone like him. Also, a lot of coach flexibility, so you could use like the Johnny Drip Drips, the Cesaros to nerf their starting MP with a card like Offa. So he comes in at number 2 for us. Great striker. No issues with anyone taking him to 5-star gold. It's between him or Seth for me as far as my choice goes for 5-star gold. And the last one is Zombie Triple H. I don't think this will surprise a lot of people. I do want to talk about this card at length, though, even though he's very, very powerful and he's at number 1. I would not take him to 5-star gold. And actually, across the board, that's what all of us said. We wouldn't take him to 5-star gold. Because he's gem damage based and striker gem damage doesn't go up much, he's not really going to get much faster. Yes, he's going to get more hit points, but I would make the case that if you need hit points on Zombie Triple H, you're probably doing it wrong, because you're stacking up his moves, going for the bleed or the big kill, or recycling it over and over again with the pin bar doesn't move. Across the board, none of us would take him 5-star silver, or 5-star gold, I mean. You're much better off with taking like someone like Offa or Orton, who gain a lot more and become much stronger. He's not going to be fast. Just see Titan feuds with their hit points and how long it takes you to kill a Titan, and that'll give you an idea what he's going to be like. But just for the simple fact that he doesn't lose, he's this era's Stone Cold Steve Austin, Zombie Stone Cold, right? He's this era for that. Austin used to never lose, and then he was at the top of the heap for a very, very long time. And eventually people quit using him because health pools got bigger and he took a little bit longer. Zombie Triple H is just like that. He's still the strongest because he's still going to win turn 1. That's why we kept him at 1. But with the caveat, we wouldn't take him to 5-star gold. He's a super good value pick, and he can do what you need him to. And it's funny, though, because none of us use him. So depending on your roster, you may use him all the time. But we don't really ever use him unless it's for, like, Titan feuds, or, you know, maybe if you're trying to beat a survival style match. But you're normally going to use a stun guy for that. So he's super strong card. Just not someone we would take to 5-star gold. So keep that in mind with the stock watch. And I think the striker stock watch is going to be really interesting in general to see how it evolves, because they seem to benefit the least at 5-star gold. So I think people are going to try different cards, different things, and we might see some fairly creative stuff come up. Plus when new cards come out. So just to recap, number 1, Zombie Triple H, for his ability to win turn 1 and cycle forever. Offa because of his huge gem damage and the buff, and that always scaling. Orton because he picks up a ton at 5-star gold in that sneaky gem defense move that's going to keep a ton of people down. Hall of Fame Hogan because he's Hogan and can do a bunch of damage and a lot of versatility. I have some 5-star gold video footage of him. I want to dive into it even more before the next striker stock watch. He was one that was almost not in the top 5 for us, even though he landed at 4. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Seth, with 1 gear, he would have made the list even without a gear, but Seth is very good. And then our honorable mentions, we got HBK, he does marquee tours. Farouk, he can do some 1 MP craziness. Breeze has that great tag link, is solid on his own. NWO Ted doesn't move the pin bar and can boss plate and do some stuff. Rocky Johnson for his low charge breaking moves and power gems. And then wrapping it up with free-to-play Dude Love, who will surprise a bunch of people, especially with the boss plate and those marquee tours. So that's the striker stock watch, guys, which means just Trickster is left. So be looking for Tricksters. Really interested to see what you guys think about strikers, where you have people, if you agree or disagree. Always love hearing your comments. And remember to like, subscribe, and share, guys, as that helps me out. And thanks for watching.